Hi, and welcome back to the Self-Actualization, the Age of Crisis chapter summary series. I'm your host, Ron Rivers, and today we're going to be discussing Chapter 2, Modern Shamanism, Small Ritual, Visualization. Visualization, put simply, is the imagination of a future, what we can say a known future, that we direct our focus and energy towards. It is in many ways one of the greatest expressions of the internal infinity that each of us possesses. Visualization is a process really without limits, and it really greatly enhances our capacity to support our productivity and participation in the directions of our choosing. It really leverages what we call like the internal infinity, right? The idea that our imagination is essentially limitless within the any given moment. We can imagine plenty of possibilities. And we use visualization to essentially set anchor points, or as I refer to in the book, known futures, that drive our action, our focus and energy towards them, and really kind of pull us towards them in many ways in a process of kind of mutual becoming, right? We become as we direct ourselves towards these things, and the universe itself, the external universe, becomes as we focus our divinity in the moment on it and create in the moment of our own vision. Visualization is a process of almost inhabiting fantasy and future at the same time. And what I mean by that is you kind of set an anchor into the future that pulls you towards it. It pulls the direction of your focus and energy towards it. And in so, it becomes this mutual expression of becoming, right? The individual becomes more through the direction of their focus and energy towards this visualization, this known future. And the universe itself becomes into the form of our efforts, our energy that we expend to kind of make it so. When we act upon visualization, or the visualizations that we set forth, we really greatly express our core values of awareness, of courage, and enthusiasm in the world. So there's a lot of content similar to meditation out there on visualization, and it's very common in athletes. The idea is, again, you visualize a future to such an extent that you are kind of drawn towards it over time. I used it a lot in my wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu career, but it can be used for many different things. I used it, once I kind of learned it from my athletic career, I applied it to my for-profit startup. But after that, I applied it to the nonprofit. And in many ways, I applied it to SpiritDAO, right, in this book over time. I also want to emphasize that visualization is different than just pure fantasy and pure kind of rumination, in that it's a very specific known future that we craft for ourselves, but then we really kind of follow it up with the direction of our focus and energy. Now, you may or may not know, what you want to do, and in that case, visualization serves to really help our process of exploration, right? Curiosity and kind of trying new things and imagining known futures, and then kind of directing ourselves towards it. I think what I really want to emphasize and what I really focus on in the text is, the proactive exercise of your imagination. I cannot express that enough. So many of us are kind of caught, within the ho-hum grind, and we're so tired when we get home that we just kind of seek to kind of tune out, whether it be video games, TV, or whatever. So the idea that we proactively exercise our imagination in the directions of our choosing is a direct alignment with the single truth and the relational universe. So if we consider the act of visualization through the lens of the single truth, we get some pretty interesting kind of concepts, right? So we exist in this informational universe. It's this kind of omnidirectional series of change that always exists in all moments, from our individual perspectives, our conscious coordinates, expanding totally into the cosmos, right? So it's this information network that consistently is interacting with itself over time, over moments. And in that sense, the development of visualization is a small ritual, right? The vision of kind of where we want to go. And in our kind of larger concept of modern shamanism with our reimagined spiritual project, is a way of kind of aligning ourselves with the universe. I think in many ways, imagination is absolutely necessary to transcend the crisis, because if we don't imagine, right, if we maintain the status quo, we're headed towards oblivion in mass crisis in a wide variety of directions. So imagination is in many respects the foundation upon which we reimagine ourselves and the systems surrounding us to support collective transcendence to overcome the age of crisis.